The biggest thing I got hit with today was the fact that you work on people's bike out here in New York, in the tri-state, but not only you work on their bike, right, as a business, you've inspired them to actually wrench on themselves. In most cases, people tend to say, hey, man, bring your bike over. That way, you know, you have more business. Granted, yes, you still have to feed your family. But I love the fact that he mentioned that, hey, man, this guy, I was very afraid to touch my bike. He's actually inspired me to do this. So please walk us through that, because, you know, I think that's a very interesting thing. And I'm like, this is the perfect way to start this conversation.
Well, as far as that's concerned, again, you and I met like the first time I saw something. I'm not above going online and seeing what people are doing out there. Your videos, actually, not to boast your ego, but your videos are very informative, well shot. And so anybody that's on here, do that whole like and subscribe thing. I'm not a big YouTuber, so I don't know how that all works, but you know, this man is putting in work, so respect that and, you know, support it. So most of my clients who I've had for many years, you know, they want to wrench on their own things, and they'll ask me for advice. I'm not above giving advice. I'm not after the money today, because the way I see it, if you do a good job for a guy and if you guys connect personally, half of this business is personal, right? If you don't like me, you're not going to bring me your bike. Yeah. And if you bring me your bike, you're not going to do it happily. And if you're not doing it happily, then I'm not taking it happily. I feel like because it's not your Honda Civic or your Honda Accord, and I'm not putting out those cars, but it's not your I go get groceries and I go to work thing. This is what you take your pride in. This is how you know, project to the world and what you're about, you know, and this is your afterthought, you know. This is when you lay on your belly with your feet up in your bed and you're geeking out about parts and you have all the tabs open. You don't do that on your Honda Odyssey. You know, I don't know why I'm picking Hondas today, but a lot of my clients say, you know, hey, I'm trying to do this, and I'll give pointers and I'll tell them what not to do, and sometimes I'll tell them, don't touch it. Give me your U.S. currency, because you're gonna end up giving it more to me. Well, you brought up the biggest thing, you know. Anybody could do this. It's not rocket science.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, man.
but
not everybody.
It's been done. It's been done for decades. You know, obviously for generations, and you know, it is a scary thought. I'm not gonna say it. I was brought up. My grandfather brought me up in Soviet Union. We didn't have things, so when we found things that were broken, he said, "Pick that up." Not in such nice words. And I said, it's a piece of junk. And he said, we're going to fix it. And that's how, you know, I guess I was brought up, and that's why I became handy. And that's why perhaps I became a mechanic.